Welcome back to another Python tutorial. In this video, we are going to see about the three conditional statements called pause, break, and continue. So, where did we use break and continue and pause statements? So, break statement basically breaks out the innermost enclosing for or while loop, and continue statement continues with the next iteration of the loop, and pause statement does nothing. It can be used when statement is required systematically, but the program requires no action. So later we are going to discuss with the example program. Now I explain how and why the break and continue statements are being used in the Python. So first of all, we are going to see about the break statement. Why we use break statements? Break statement breaks the entire loop when your condition is paused at a certain area. So imagine like that you are printing a number of from 1 to 10. If you want to break when I is equal to or assign you assign a variable to the for loop that equal to 7, you want to break the loop. So here the condition break you go to use. So next, the continue statement. A continue statement breaks at a certain point, and after the continue statement runs, the iteration continues to run that again. So also example, take same example and clearly explain that if you are going to print a number from 1 to 10, if you don't want to print only 5, but you want to print all other numbers from 1 to 10, like 1 2 3 4, not don't going to print a 5 and start from next 6 7 8 9 10. So in this condition you going to use continue. So next, past statements. So past statements does nothing. So you are going to work in a functions or an you are created a class or you are created a iteration statements, but you don't need to code that at the time. So you develop a next loop, you work on that and return back to this loop. So in this condition, you are going to use pause. So pause statement does nothing. It only screens the error. So if you created a for loop, so the terminal shows an error that you don't write any code inside that block. You are going to that next for loop. If you want to work at work at a time at same two iterations. So don't confuse. I am going to write a code sample code that you can understand better. So also in loops we can specify a else loop. So else condition is optional. So let's see this 4 condition with a sample code. So here I am going to use Python online compiler. So it's so I am first normally printing a statement of dot industries. So I run this. Yeah, it works. So okay, let's get into the break, continue, and pause statements. So first of all, we are going to use break statement. So I am creating a for loop with a variable of I. So to print 1 to start 10, it is incrementing 1 by 1. It is optional. So if I am going to write if I value is equal to 8, it want to break the entire loop and don't want to print the next iteration value, right? So I'm going to print I. So when I run this, yeah, it is running for the convention. Going to write a statement of dash t. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next the value of I is 8. So I am here giving a condition I is equal to 8. So when the condition I is equal to 8 true, it breaks the entire loop and stop the working of the loop and get out of the loop. So here how the break statements are used. Okay. Next we are going to write a continue. So what I have written, why I changed break to continue. So as I said already, break statement breaks the entire loop and get out of the loop. So continue statement only breaks at the point, and after the condition fails, next it continues to work on the loop. So here see, I give a condition of increasing to 11. So right, see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here not 8, but 9, 10. So when the condition I is equal to 8 is true, it breaks the statement at a point and starts executing the next iterations. So this is how the continue statement is working. Don't get confused. Difference between the break and continue. Break breaks the entire loop, but continue breaks a loop at a single point. So before getting into the break, continue, and pause statements, see the for loops and while loop statements. Yeah, already put the video in our YouTube channels to get better clarity about how the loops are working. So also I am going to write a pause statement. So here I do a pause. So pause statement does nothing. If you are running it in a VS Code, Visual Studio Code, or other terminals or other IDLE groups, it shows when I am writing. So if I don't write and this goes error. But I intended block after for loop for line. So I am when I write pause here, runs automatically that 10. Uh, yeah, it is printing the J value. Why it shows error in the before code? Because the pause statement tells the compile, pause statement tells the interpreter this code, this block, the code of the block is written after a mean while or after developing a other iteration or other function. It will develop a code of this iteration. So it does not shows error. This is the reason why we use pause statements. You want to use a pause statement in some of professional programmers use pause statements for a certain condition that it thinks or he or she thinks differently. First, they think what are the blocks want to write in that certain number of codes or certain number of block or certain number of files. What are the code we have to create in that file? They simply create a function first. Then he develops a code in single iteration or indentation. So this makes thinking he or she thinking clearly. So In this months, why uh, in this condition they are using pause to avoid the errors in the terminal while running code without developing another iteration. He wants to see a before iteration code here, as like it. I want to see a output for I in for j in range. So I want to see this iteration block output, but I am going to develop this block code some meanwhile after. So I don't want to see any error. I want to see the output of the second iteration. So in this condition, we are going to use positive, right? So later, this next video, we are going to teach about functions and how what are the types of the functions and how functions work. And in that function also, we are going to use was statement. Okay, first, understand the code clearly and think about how single line of code is actually working by. In this AI era, we want to master the basics and get into the AI. It is better idea, right? Okay, we will see in the next video. Thank you.